10,000 odds to 1 were the odds of Leicester City winning the English Premier League in 2016, and they had the biggest boys to contend for it. 10 years down the line, and Leicester City are back in League One, the third year of English football triangle. It's actually a sad one for everyone who had actually watched this fairy tale unfold. From grass to grace used to be the normal call, but Leicester City has fallen from grace to grass. My name is Ade Damola, and today we are going to be looking at everything that has happened to Leicester City, right from where they did the unthinkable right now to actually being at the lowest they have been in years. In the studio with me here today is Mide and Elizabeth, and like I said, it's not a happy day for most people, neutral fans, and those that have followed the fairy tale of Leicester City FC. Mide, you're welcome today.
Yeah, not a very good showing for Leicester this season, and that relegation to League One now confirms how terrible their season have gone.
I think, Elizabeth, let's even do the introduction first. Elizabeth, you're welcome once again.
Thank you.
This is something that you don't really want to see often time in football. From being champions down to the third division is a big loss for whoever is in charge of Leicester City.
I mean, it's a sad one. It's a sad story. I mean, when they won that league, then they had good players. You know, they had a dream. They lived it, and then they were in it. They enjoyed the moments. After that Premiership, they still won the FA Cup with the likes of Iheanacho.
Yes, they did.
When
they won the FA Cup.
They started calling him the senior man, Costo for me, and all of that. So now they are here, not just in a championship. Now back to the League One. It's a sad story, man. And as a football fan in general, it's not what I want to see for Leicester.
Well, let's quickly if we look at it. Let me start from this angle. Midi, I know you don't do sports betting or whatever it is, but if you're actually given a chance to win £5,000 for every pound that you spend, will you take that chance?
Definitely, no right-thinking person will not pick that opportunity to, do.
The chance of Leicester winning the league in 2016 was 5,000 to 1. So if you had dropped £1, it means you'd be winning £5,000.
Yes, at that
you think
point,
anybody will have put their money on it?
The thing is, depending on, you said 5,000, you are dropping £1, not like you're asking me to drop £1,000. So it's about me dropping something that I know I can actually afford to lose. And anybody doing that at that time would not be like, I think majorly would be somebody that may actually be a fan. That, okay, I just want to support my team.
Elizabeth, do you believe that normally any right-thinking person wants to stake place a stake on Leicester City to win the league in 2016?
Nobody actually, because I think they just came back from relegation, and then that was it. People are just having that moment of, can they just stay steady in the Premier League? Can they survive come next season? And then they did the unthinkable in an unimaginable way, winning that league that season. I wouldn't have expected it, to be very honest, as a football fan.
Now, let's start from, because you have to, this might actually take us a couple of time. I want us to look at this Leicester City story. It's actually a sad one for me. And let's look at it. In 2015, Leicester City decided to take on Claudio Ranieri. Claudio Ranieri was a former coach of Chelsea. I think I'm correct with that. And decided to employ him to come and take the reins. 2016, Claudio Ranieri wins the league. You understand what I'm saying? Now, after winning the league, he was actually sacked in 2017. Where I'm going to is, after winning that league, these people right here decided to buy. How many players did you get from Leicester City? You got N'Golo Kante, Abi?
Yeah.
You got Daniel Drinkwater, and you got Ben Chilwell. The question I want to ask is, where did it actually go wrong for Leicester City? Because from winning the league, it should have actually been an upward trend. Even if you are not winning the league again, at least you should maintain your stand in the Premier League. Midi, where did you go wrong for Leicester City?
We cannot pinpoint one thing. We cannot look back into what happened between 10 years ago and now. That's quite a lot of time. A lot of things have happened.
That's a decade.
The decade of events, of happenings. So in between, they lost their owner, the former owner rather, to a car crash,
Yeah,
to
sadly.
Yeah,
I think
an
it was
air
an
crash.
helicopter crash. Yeah.
crash. Yeah, I want to say early crash, and all of those. So, um, I want us to focus on this season. Who actually got them, because they got relegated from.
Can we actually isolate all the events of the last 10 seasons? Because
Yes, we are.
everything that happened that culminated in this relegation did not just happen overnight.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, but even in that period, they were a team that they were doing well, considerably fine. Even after the loss of their former owner, they were still, doing their thing in the Premier League, maintaining their Premier League status and all of that, and which is good. Fine. The issue started, I think, from when they lost Enzo Maresca. And what actually happened since they lost that man is why he brought them to the Premier League. And it was supposed to take them to before Chelsea,
Like you
Hijacked him.
guys, like
yes,
usually do.
take him away from Leicester. So now him getting the way Leicester is being built now, they need more than just a random person. I think for a side, I'm even looking at their this thing now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody that is finishing 23rd in the championship table, despite having the players, the squad, because you cannot tell me Wrexham or say Coventry on paper have better players than Leicester. So the problem now is that this is a side that actually they have just one win in 18 matches this season. So they have been having this series of errors, inconsistent in terms of results, performances, and this has been happening even before they left the Premier League. So from the moment they lost Enzo Maresca, I think something was lost in between. I cannot actually pinpoint what is actually wrong
Elizabeth,
Yeah.
what's your own
with,
view on
with this.
what Leicester actually did wrong? Because for them, they just got relegated from Premier League last season, and now they're in the Championship.
Well, first of all, like Mide mentioned, they lost the coach that has been, trying to get back on track, because come what may, they relegated from the Premier League in a bad way. Because if you are good, you will not get relegated. Now they got a manager that won them the championship, and that man got stolen from them by Chelsea. In a way, he got a better move. Now, if you look at the way they've played this season, like Mide mentioned, they've played 44 games and they had just 11 wins. 23rd position out of 24 teams. That's to tell you how bad they are. In the last 10 games now, they've not had a win. Probably they had just one win. That's against Bristol City.
The one win in 18, the last 18 games.
Even
just
19,
one win.
add the
Okay,
FA.
okay.
Add the FA.
Okay, so even add the FA, okay.
So that's how bad they've been. And sometimes they don't even score. Sometimes they score well, they don't know how to defend, and then they get to draw games.
Yes, a lot
Sometimes-
of lack of cohesion.
Yes, in-game management is not there. Sometimes they are leading the charge in a game, and then they drop points. They are not together. Sometimes they have to fight back late in the game to get a point. So it's just how they've been playing this season, and you can't just keep having. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Imagine you still have Jordan Ayew by this time of the since when that guy has been in that team. You still have Jordan Ayew, you still have Daka, you still have those players. I'm not saying you have that luxury of money to get the best of the best players, but at least you can look around. That's why they have a scouting team. Get the people, do the unthinkable, change ways, change direction, change narrative. Probably you can get something out of it, but I mean, it's not just looking good for them. They've lost a good number of games this season, both home and away, and it's a bad one.
Yes, to
it's
add
a
to
bad
what you said. Yes, they have been bad. Their form has been, but another contributing factor, aside the fact that they lost their manager, their identity, is that they were hit with a financial play point deduction. About 6 points was deducted. But even at that, the result and the performances suggest that they should be where they are, because Everton was docked about around 10 points.
Yes.
Was it this season or last
No,
season?
last season.
Last season, and they still, in a way, manage in a tougher league, in a tough light. They still manage to hold their own and stay afloat. And look at them. So for them to, another thing is that their wage bill is killing them. Their wage bill is not something that in a single season they made about around £71 million loss, over 180 losses in multiple seasons, and they have one of the highest, in fact, if not the highest, wage bill in the championship. And this is not a league that will give you
It's even making that money.
Exactly, that will give you the kind of that is why teams fight tooth and nail to stay in the Premier League because of the money and the influence and the prestige that comes with it, and that is what they are lacking now. They are big fish in a small pond now, and they are not having enough adequate air and water. So that is, I think, one of the major
Well,
reasons.
for me, I think the Leicester City issue is actually deeper than all the things that have been mentioned there. Because when you say they have a large wage bill, there's something to have a large wage bill. When you get relegated from the Premier League, there's an amount you get as, how will I say it, as a floater, a subsidy
Yeah.
from being in the Premier League, nothing less than around £90 million for your first season. Your second season, you get around £60 million. Being relegated from the Premier League, at least first 3 years, there's an amount of money that you get.
No, it's not even about the reason, because the last time
Mide, calm down.
Sunderland
Calm down.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is the wage bill is not an excuse for Leicester City. They have just been poorly run. Let's look at when they were at their highest. They sold players. Abi, like I said, Chelsea got like the largest chunk of the best players. They got Ben Chilwell, they got N'Golo Kante, got Daniel Drinkwater, a couple of players. What did they do with that money?
Well, whatever the players you are bringing into for me, have no significance to what is happening today right now.
It does.
It has nothing
It does.
to do.
Because if you sell players, let me give an example.
N'Golo was sold in 2017. This is 2026.
You might say that it doesn't matter, but it does. When you look at your financial record over the last 10 years, you just mentioned that they were deducted points for what?
Financial fair play.
For financial issues.
No. For PSR works within 3 seasons window. It is your situation for the last.
What
3 years.
culminated in those 3 season windows?
No, this is not about what did you remember that they lost their owner,
Apart from
their
losing-
benefactor.
What I'm trying
There
to
was
say,
a new set of you see the way. Yeah, I agree in a way that the way they were run was not okay. But what I'm saying is that even when they had the Kantes and they sold the Kantes and the rest,
Mahrez.
see it has not. They were doing fine. This thing happened like 2 or 3 seasons ago. Like it all started 2 or 3 seasons ago. This is not something that was before or just immediately after they sold Kante.
do you agree with me that what you are actually seeing 2 or 3 seasons ago had actually been years of problems that have been stockpiling and Leicester City have not been at financial assets to? Let me give you an example. From Claudio, there was a time that the coach of Leicester City was Brendan Rodgers. Abi, you just mentioned Enzo Maresca. How come Leicester City have gone from Brendan Rodgers also managed Celtic? There was a time he also managed Aston Villa. How come Leicester City went from those high caliber managers to the current crop of managers that they have now? You look at the current crop of players that Leicester City have now. Is there any world-class talent in Leicester City?
Like it will always work with any team, regardless of what you have done in the past. If you are not, like I think Elito mentioned this morning, that if you are not in the elite when it comes to European football, it will be very difficult for you to attract talent. And this doesn't just apply to players alone, even managers. You cannot expect a right thinking manager now, high profile manager. Like, or let's say, let me start with Deserbi to go to the championship and coach Leicester. No, it will not happen.
We've seen clubs pick coaches that the current manager of Sunderland is almost unknown, and he has brought Sunderland back.
That's what I'm saying. That
Burnley.
you cannot.
You can say that Vichai Company relegated Burnley. You understand? But he brought them from the championship to where they are. Coventry City, they got Frank Lampard. This same Frank Lampard actually promoted Derby County before.
Yes.
So the thing is, for what Leicester City have done, you have to agree with the fact that they have actually made the wrong moves.
And I totally agree that they have actually not done themselves a world of good by not run the club the way they should. But at the same time, we cannot once you shoot yourself in it's just a domino effect of one problem leading to another. But what I am saying is that I agree that they have problems. Combination of what happened to them now is a combination of what has been happening prior to this season or last season. But what I'm saying is we have to put a cap to where the problem started. It is not immediately after they lost the like of Kante. This is not the Leicester of even 2 years after Kante, because Leicester of 2 years after, even after the life after Kante was still doing better.
Yes.
You know, they were playing the Premier League. They were still a Premier
They
League
still
top
won
side.
Chelsea in an FA Cup
So
final.
let me ask, now that you have agreed that probably you should not take it back to 10 years ago, but you still have to put it in that context, because in the space of 10 years, how can you
They
go
go
so
from
bad
Premier League
Premier League
champion,
champion
to
third
yeah,
division?
Zero.
I agree.
Now,
We
the
can
question I
look
want
at
to
that
ask
one
is,
too.
what should they
Yes.
have done differently?
Well, for a start, I think they have to, or the
Like,
media-
what should they have done to actually avoid this current situation that they found themselves?
well, it is not they can't actually do much, because
Do you
reason why.
think whatever happens that they will have actually ended up in this situation?
You know why I said it won't have the actually the whole situation is not within their grasp, or should I within their
So it was
Their
unavoidable.
aunt.
yeah, unavoidable for them, because you know, like I said, PSR is a 3-season window. Now what you do, what you have done in
How many points did PSR give them? The dogs.
minus 6 points.
Minus
-6
6.
points.
Yes.
If you had played well, -6 points would not count.
Yeah, that's
That's why I'm
I
asking you
said-
that. What should Leicester City have done differently? That even if at the end of the day they had already gotten that 6 points, they wouldn't find themselves in this situation that they find themselves.
They cannot do much because of the quality they can actually
That they have.
They can't do much with the quality they
That
have
they
right
have
now.
right now.
I'm not
They
talking
are
about
not
right
playing
now.
well. They are not doing things
Let me tell you
well.
something. What I see
They got
once,
this season. They got that
Mide.
the point deduction this season.
They got that point deduction this season. Is like I don't want to put Chelsea into this. Let me look for another example to make. Now, there was a time Liverpool was not doing well. Let me use Liverpool as an example. Liverpool didn't win the league for 30 years. You understand? And it got to a time that everybody almost believed that Liverpool was not going to win the league, because they were not even contending for it. But Liverpool used to be the biggest club in England. They won the league. They had won the league 18 times before Manchester United even started dreaming of winning the league. That's at the time Liverpool had 18 league titles. Manchester United had just 5. So something culminated in the decline of Liverpool. And that's what I'm saying, that what should they have done different that will not lead them to this situation that they have found themselves? Elizabeth.
First of all, they are not Liverpool. And first of all, the way they won that league that time, nobody expected them to win that league.
Definitely, I agree.
Let's be realistic. Leicester is not a big club. They are just a regular team in the Premier League.
They're not even a regular team.
Exactly.
They are just
They
a
come-
team that they came at that, even before they won that Champions, before they won that title.
The Premier League.
They were just scraping the season before. They actually tried to avoid relegation,
Okay,
and they
so-
got reinforcement in the summer, and that was
That's
the
one
rest
thing
was
I
history.
want us to first of all agree to.
What we are saying now is, let me give you a context. I've just won 50 million naira. Are you with me? Should I say because I've never had access to such money before, I should just spend recklessly, and after 10 years, I'm back to being a pauper, and I should have all the excuse for the reason why 50 million naira is gone after 10 years?
See, well, that one is down to, if you want to put it, that analogy, why I think we do not, work with this, because individually and a collective effort are two different things. Now you are talking about a personal decision of one person. This is a club that is run by so many people. So many people are involved: scouts, playing staff, the managerial, everything about.
players.
So everything is involved in this. And
When it is not working, what should you do?
See, what I meant by it won't have done much for them is that right now, they have one of the highest wage bill. What can they do? Is probably to offload certain players, and in doing so, how are they going to get quality to replace those ones and with lesser wage bill? And then how are they going to attract a manager that can actually be, because I'm looking at the history of since Maresca. I'm looking at the managerial list.
The problem I see
management
is the
has
fact,
been-
is the
it has
fact
been
that
abysmal.
you are still putting this thing within the context of 2 years, which I still don't want to accept. Mide, the thing is,
You don't have to accept.
Coventry City.
You don't have to accept.
Let's
See,
look at Coventry City. Coventry City are going back to
see,
the
let's not
Mide,
go into
Coventry City.
Coventry.
Wait, calm down.
Coventry and
Mide.
Coventry and Leicester are two different worlds.
Wait, calm down. Coventry City are currently going back to the Premier League, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you have any standout player that you know, apart from Frank Oyeka from Nigeria? Do you have any standout players you know that are in Leicester City?
I can't actually pinpoint.
Wrexham, you love Wrexham, isn't it?
Yes, I
You
not
like
I
how
don't
Wrexham play.
I don't follow them like I follow Premier League
You
teams.
like
So
Wrexham. You know Wrexham. You know Wrexham are currently in pole position
yes,
for
yeah,
playoff.
for
Yes.
playoffs, I understand that
Any
one.
big player in Wrexham right now?
Yes, but what they have a manager that has been there for
That's
more
what
than
I'm
4 or
see,
5 years.
Yes.
It's
You're
just
not
the same
getting
thing. It's just the same thing that what could Leicester City have done
They
separately?
Of course, do you know they actually changed they sacked their manager this season to get the current one.
That they
So
have.
there is no stability in that team. That's what I'm saying, that this is unavailable because the foundation is not there. Now you are saying we should not we should look past beyond the 2 years. I would say I will not look beyond the 2 years because prior to that 2 years or 3 years away from now, they have been a solid Premier League side.
Then how come they crumble all of a sudden in 2 years?
So it happens to anything.
Just poor
mismanagement.
administration.
Exactly, mismanagement. When you don't manage your team properly, this is what you get.
You've just answered my question.
No.
I just wanted this to be direct and straightforward.
No, you see, this
If
is
Leicester
see,
City
Damola,
had
you
done
need,
this
you need, you need, you need to, you
separately,
need to,
then they
you need
would
to
have
understand
finished.
that you don't have to agree with certain things.
I don't need to agree with you,
See.
but there are some things that are very glaring.
No. You don't have to agree or to say, I must say it the way you want to hear it. Now, my point is that this is a team that has been struggling since Maresca. I give example of how their performances have
In
been
the
dipped.
league.
In the league. You made the example of another one that they lost in the FA Cup. So these are issues. This is not just about say you can just
Just
do
this
a magic
2026,
wand.
2026 year, they've
You
only
cannot
had
just
one
you cannot
move.
just win a wand at the problem and you expect everything to go like that, because this is something that they need to treat right from the foundation. Now you have a team, you have a, what do you call it, the board had one of the reasons why they are like this. Now you said 6 points should not be a problem. Yeah, of course. Everton had -10 and they still managed to stay in the Premier League.
Yes.
But what you are forgetting is that the fact that they have experience and knowledgeable people that can actually handle this situation. Leicester don't have that kind of
Caliber of management.
No, not yes, the management
And
now.
whose fault is the fact that they don't have that caliber?
That is nobody's
That is
fault.
nobody's
That is
fault.
nobody's
It's their
fault.
owner's
You
fault.
are saying that it's nobody's fault that they don't have.
That is
It's
the
their
manager's
owner's
fault
fault.
now. The management, the owners they should have done something about it. I agree that they should be doing better because of this thing. But the players I'm looking at, they are not looking like players are, because with that current squad, they should be doing better than that. They should be making, at least, even if they are not top of the
Their
table,
highest goal scorer
they
is
should
on
be
8 goals.
in playoff position
Yes.
at the very least. They have one of the highest wage bill. So that should tell you something, that this team, okay, let's say even say they discard most of these players. Who are they bringing in? Look at the level of their manager. Now compared to what Leicester used to be 4-5 years ago. Compare and contrast. Look at the vast difference between the profile of players and the profile of manager they have now. So there's a distinct clear difference between Leicester of 5 years ago and Leicester of 2 or 3 years. Now, since that relegation from Premier League, it has been one bad issue to another. And this point deduction is another indication of how bad it's actually been going for Leicester. So that is just my point.
I guess all you have been saying is the fact that I don't even know how to summarize this, but all I believe in is in the fact that Leicester City, by all means, they might not be the best clubs in England, but there was something that they did that got them the Premier League title. And there's something that they could have done that would have retained them among the top clubs in England. It is very, very uncalled for that you go within 10 years from Premier League winners to Championship and now be relegated from the Championship, all in the space of 2 years. That speaks a lot about
yes, the leadership, the cultural impact.
And I still believe strongly that whatever we see today are a result of accumulated past
Problems.
actions. It is not just overnight. It didn't even happen overnight. You understand? A lot of things have been done badly.
Imagine.
A lot of deals done wrongly.
Imagine.
Wrong coaches.
I'm even
I want to
Even selling their best players.
I want to believe the fact that losing Maresca alone should not make a club of Leicester City caliber crumble so suddenly.
But do you know they have changed manager 4 times in one season?
Calm down. You see, that is what I'm just saying. You are just supporting my point that for a club like Leicester City, why do you have to wait till you change manager 4 times?
And what do they what can they do?
But losing
better than-
Maresca should have
They
been
should-
it should
they
have,
should
is
be
a
able
problem
to-
because
they
a
should
man
be-
that is
they
trying
should
to
be able
bring
to-
them back
we
together, that is
should
trying
not
to
pin everything on
No.
Maresca.
No,
Every-
I'm not
see,
pin, no,
nobody's
nobody's
pinning-
pinning it on
you are saying
Maresca.
losing Maresca.
We are
losing
saying
Maresca.
so
If you
many
lose,
things.
so you are
cannot-
saying that if
they-
Maresca
there's-
is not there,
okay.
Leicester City will disappear.
Listen,
No.
this is my point. You see, maybe I'm not putting it clear enough for you. Now, what I'm saying is, now they have an expensive underperforming signings. They have this squad imbalance and identity crisis. Now they have aging core without no proper replacements. Now these are and then they have leadership issues.
These are the things I expected you to spell out. Spell it out. This is what
I'm telling you. No, this is I don't have to spell out everything.
you
I
have
don't
to see.
I don't have to-
I want it. You see, we are apart from the fact that we are here talking. We want to let people know. You understand? And that is why I'm trying to make you
I'm
say this
saying-
thing out. You have just mentioned some of the problems.
So these are not
These are the issues that happen with Leicester City.
Yes.
these are
You
the
have to
issues.
say it out.
These,
People
these
have
are,
to know.
these are the issues. But it still boils down to the fact that the with what their current situation now, there's nothing the board can do because to offload these high playing players, most of their players are earning good money. To offload them is a big problem. That is
who is
where-
going to buy them?
who is going to buy them? They are agents.
So
That
Elizabeth
is
also
one.
believes that there's nothing that Leicester City can do.
No,
Right,
there's something they
there's
can do,
also-
but even if they had done it, it won't have changed their fate. Their fate is sealed.
What could they have done?
By what I mentioned, looking at how to replace all these
All these old players.
So what is-
expensive.
Because how will you be keeping
you-
Jordan
you-
Ayew,
They have a
Xhaka?
better squad.
Hello, Mide. The question now is, this is what they should have done. They did not do it. If you are saying that if they had done it, the position would have changed. They didn't do it. The position should not change. Why not take the risk?
That is all for them. That is not. I'm not a board member. I'm not a financial
course.
expert. I'm not part of that. So that is not my job to do. I'm just saying as a fan, as a football follower,
fan.
why I think they are where they are.
Well-
And from my own understanding, because I'm a fan, I'm not an expert in these areas. But I'm saying, by my own calculation, I believe even if they had changed, because if you are changing these expensive aged players, you are not going to get quality for quality because they are in the championship to attract quality that will actually make them. I understand
They can
that.
take players on loan.
See, I said that.
The only thing they can probably get players on free transfer that are willing to play and grow from the beginning.
Yeah, that's
But
just
other than that,
A certain Coventry City, I'll still mention Coventry City. A certain Coventry City took Frank Oyeka from Brentford. They saw he was not getting playing time. They took him. In fact, do you know why I'm saying this? It has been recorded statistically wise that most times championship team will always look at players are not playing regularly in the Premier League
I want to
boost
get
their
playing
squad.
time.
Chelsea had a time whereby most of the time, in particular Mason Mount, how did he grow? By playing in Derby County under Frank Lampard. Do you get it now? A lot of these guys, Tosin Adarabioyo, Tammy Abraham, most of them played in the championship. And from doing so, they developed. These clubs gain, the parents club also gain. So Leicester City, for me, I believed
But
everything
looking
combined
at
together.
Coventry City, as at the time Frank Oyinka joined them, they were not doing bad as the way Leicester
Yes, they
is
were not
right
doing
now.
bad, but he actually boosted them.
Yes.
is
So
it.
you cannot compare where Leicester City right now to where Coventry City and you expect them to
it's
attract
not the same. That's
Whether-
my
whether-
point.
whether I'm comparing or not.
players that want playing time, big players that want playing time. What they can get is
Elizabeth,
Even that
Elizabeth,
Oyinka, let
Elizabeth,
me now put it
I'm
to you.
not even saying
Let me
that.
put
I'm
it
not
to
even
you
saying
now.
that big players.
Oyinka will not even boot Leicester at that point.
yes.
Mide.
I-
We are not
do
even
you
talking
agree
about,
or
I'm
not?
not talking about Oyinka right now.
No. I'm
there,
just
there are a lot
saying
of young
it-
players in the Premier League that need playing time.
It's not everything is not
It's
set
not
in
that
stone.
simple.
Mide, there are
It's not that
players.
simple.
There are
It's
players
not
in
that
the Premier League.
straightforward.
There are players in the Premier League that need playing time. That if Leicester City call to them, they will go. Do you agree with me? They might not be internationals. They might be young players. You have players under 20, young academy players that want playing time, that want experience,
Now
that will go to Leicester
now
City.
tell us, how are you sure? Okay, game dating these players will translate to instant success.
So you are telling me that Premier
No,
League doesn't have talent.
I'm asking you because
We
you
have
have
seen it work over and over again. That's worked with Burnley, that's worked with Sunderland. We've seen it work with Aston Villa. There was a time whereby West Ham got relegated. They did it. We've seen teams do it over and over again.
They didn't take any. They had a team. They had a foundation. They have stability. These teams that you're mentioning had stability. Leicester is in turmoil. Leicester are in disarray. They are in crisis.
They're in shambles.
They are identity-wise, they are nowhere to be found.
Let me round this up by saying this. Can Leicester City come up from this third division back to the championship next season?
Yeah. I don't know. Until next season comes here and we'll see how they are doing. We cannot tell because on evidence on what has been happening in the last 2 years, it cannot but nothing will shock me, even if they go
Elizabeth, can
down
you come back?
to League Two.
If they go back to the drawing board and start doing things right.
I see. Go for me, but I hate that language of drawing board.
No,
Sorry,
no,
I'm
because-
not trying to demean whatever you have said, though, but every time everybody should go back to drawing. Where did they put the drawing board in the first place?
Because right now, a lot of things are going wrong for them. And first of all, they need to start looking for how to get things right within the administrative sectors first. Because if things are being done well in the administrative sector, it will show in the way the players and then the coach are being run. If they want to get back to things, first of all, like you mentioned, let them get young players that are willing, and also players that are on free transfer, that are not rushing to play in the highest level of football, probably in the Premier League or what have you. They are players that they are not known. That's why we have a lot of professional players out there. Probably even the academy. They can go back to the academy, pick one or two people. Right now, nobody is expecting miracle from them to just jump from League One to Premier League or anything. Let them go back to the drawing board, get players that are willing, go to the academy, pick young boys, and start afresh again. For now, it is done and dusted for Leicester, and it's a sad one.
Well, for me as a person, I still feel sorry for Leicester City because I believe a lot of things could have actually been put right for a team that actually went toe to toe with the likes of Chelsea, winning the FA Cup, toe to toe with Manchester City, winning the Community Shield, pushed Arsenal to the limits, won the Premier League title in 2016 with 81 points, 10 points ahead of Arsenal on 71. And you have to ask yourself, where did things really fall apart? But that's a package concerning the fall from grace to grass of Leicester City. I wish them well. I hope that very soon they'll be back in the Premier League where I believe they belong, their proper place. The Blue Brothers of Chelsea. It's a sad one right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember to follow us on all our social media pages at Score City NG, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Like, subscribe on our YouTube channel. You can also drop your own contributions. What do you feel about Leicester City? Where did everything go wrong for them? And how can they salvage whatever they have left in the team? I remain Adedamola. See you next time.